revocation of probation. You entered a plea or were convicted of the offense of battery, family violence on the 22nd day of November 2022. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 8 months and 3 days remaining on probation. Your sentence was not told. You're before this court for a violation of criminal law. It's alleged that you committed the new offense of burglary with intent to commit a felony and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on or about November 26, 2022 in Clayton County, Georgia. You also are alleged to have committed the new offense of battery, family violence, and theft by taking on or about November 25th of 2022 in Clayton County, Georgia. You failed to comply with counseling. You were supposed to take a certified family violence intervention program class, and you have not shown proof of doing that. You failed to complete community service. You've shown no proof of having taken the 40 hours of community service, and you failed to pay. Ms. Khan, what do you have on behalf of your client? I believe you've stated that he wishes to stipulate to the technicals and agree to the punishment in this case.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Mr. Gregory Bryant Rice is stipulating to the technical, and he is wanting to hear the probation recommendation in this case. Mr. Cash.
Yes, ma'am. The recommendation, Judge, was 4 months to serve, give credit for time served, and close the current case.
What was that, Mr.
Mr. Cash, can you repeat your recommendation, please?
Yes, ma'am. 4 months to serve.
Okay.
Give credit for the time that you've already been in custody, and close the current case.
Thank you.
So I have a question. Was the victim the same in both of the battery cases?
I am not sure, Your Honor.
Mr. Rice, how old are you, sir?
25.
Do you plan to spend the rest of your life in jail, sir? Don't tell me the specifics of anything. But was this in your life's plan?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't my life's plan. I actually was my plan last time I was in here was to get out and do the right thing and at least try. But you know, situations happen sometimes. So this time I'm just gonna deal with whatever situation, whatever consequences I have, and when I get out this time, I don't plan on getting into trouble with the law or anything like that.
Mr. Rice, let me tell you something, and I'm pretty much going to tell you why you're in the situation you're in. You said situations happen. Like you walked into something and caught a cold. There was virus in the air, and you just happened to walk into that situation and, oh, you caught a cold. But situations happen because you make certain choices. And so when you make those choices, whether you know the consequences or not, you know there will be a consequence. So knowing that you were already before me on probation, knowing that I had ordered you to take some classes, knowing that you were to stay away from certain individuals, knowing all of the requirements that I gave you, the situation just didn't happen. You made certain choices. And it's when our life starts to change for the better, when we start to realize that we really control what happens to us. There might be adverse situations around us, but we can make the choice to do one thing or the other thing. And when you make better choices, your outcomes are better. So don't ever say, well, like I hate when people say, well, I caught a charge. No, you didn't catch a charge like it's a football flying through the air or like it's a virus in a room. You made certain choices that resulted in you catching that charge. And so at 25 years of age, you got to do some deep thinking, sir. Use these 4 months over the next 4 months because you're going to have to deal with some stuff in the Superior Court. But use these 4 months to start thinking about what your life looks like now and what you want it to look like. And what are some of the bad choices that you have made versus different choices you could have made? look at those situations and say, where did I make a bad choice in this case? And what would have been the better choice to make? Because once you start choosing the better choice, your life works out better. We got to stop getting into the situation of we thinking stuff is happening to us. You make stuff happen to you, but based on the choices that you have. Even if your circumstances are bad, there's always a better choice and a worse choice. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So I'm not saying that you don't come from a situation where it's not the best. But what I'm saying to you is in the options that exist for you, you have the option to take the better path as opposed to the worst path. To think about what's going to happen if I do this. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I just want you to be mindful of that. So, Ms. Hahn, anything else on behalf of your client? Because, I mean, 4 months, the only reason that 4 months sounds reasonable to me is because I realize that he's dealing with some stuff upstairs and he's probably not going to get out anytime soon. But otherwise, that would bother me. Otherwise, I might revoke the entire remaining, 9 months?
Excuse me. I have a bond.
Sir, hold on, 8 months, I'm sorry. Hold on, yes, yes, sir.
I have a bond. They gave me a bond yesterday, so I plan on bonding out.
Well, it don't matter because you about to spend 4 months for me. So that bond is not going to affect my revocation.
8 months.
I'm revoking 4 right now, but 8 months is really what seems reasonable to me because you ain't listen to anything I said.
I did.
Don't tell me, because I don't want you to mess up your case upstairs. Now let me tell you something. Let me be real clear. So you got 2 sets of victims on these cases, or it's the same victim. I don't know. I don't know who the victims are, but you got an ag assault. You got 2 batteries. The very wrong thing for you to do is to have contact with any of those persons listed on any of those cases. The very wrong thing, because that really will push me, because you got to come back and see me for the battery. So you got this battery, but you got to come back and see me for the new battery that you just been arrested on. So it's not your last.
They told me the felony battery.
Oh, well, then you don't have to come back and see me. It's going to go upstairs. But they're going to look at what I'm doing on this case, and they're going to look at whether it's the same. Are you listening to me, Mr. Rice? Whether it's the same stuff. So you might not come back to me for the next battery. It's going to go upstairs. But that's not a good thing, Mr. Rice. Let me just tell you, you better hope you don't get Judge Aaron Mason. You just better hope you don't get Judge Aaron Mason. Because if you get Judge Aaron Mason, he's going to give you every day you can serve. Every day that they allow you to serve on that case, you're going to get it all. We clear? We clear? So the fact that your battery is going upstairs is not a good thing. Now, the other judges up there are tough, but Judge Mason, you don't want that. I'm just saying, at 25 years old, you made some choices that are going to affect your ability to have a rest of your life. You have kids?
Your Honor, you
No,
done with him?
I ain't done with him. He can pop off. He ain't going nowhere. So he can pop off, but he's still in jail. I'm free. So you got any children, sir? Huh?
No.
I can't hear you.
Said no.
Okay, good. Because I don't want nobody to miss you. Because you're making the kind of choices where you ain't going to get out no time soon. All right. So I'm going to revoke your 4 months. Upon service of the 4 months, this case will be suspended. The remaining time will be suspended so that you can have no contact with the victim in this case. If you were to have contact with the victim in this case, then you'll be brought back. The case will be reopened and you'll serve the remainder of that time. Do you understand? You understand me, sir?
Can I talk to my attorney real quick, please?
Okay, but it's not going to change my recommendation. I'm giving you these 4 months, but you can talk to her. I'll put you in a breakout room with her.
Yes,
Thank you.
Because it seems like you two. Oh, not the spicy language. Mr. Right. You're going to make me add another month. What you ain't going to do is have the spicy language. No, sir. We're not doing that. Twisted up. But every time you pop off with an F word, I'm going to add pop off with an M word. Another month. We clear? All right, now I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss Hahn. And don't be yelling and fussing at her either, because she didn't get you in this position. You did. Miss Hahn, I'm in breakout room number 3.
Your Honor, we're ready on Mr. Rice again.
All right, so Mr. Rice, I'm going to accept your stipulation to the technicals only. I'll revoke 4 months. You'll do that day for day. And after the service of 4 months in the Clayton County Jail, your case will be suspended. And you're not to have any contact with the victim in this case. If you have contact, then your case will be brought back, and you'll spend the remaining time in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, we're also asking 2 things. One is that he get credit since the date of lockup on the probation violation. The other thing is that Mr. Rice wanted to apologize to you directly for his language and behavior.
All right, Mr. Rice, I'll hear that apology now.
I apologize, Your Honor, I apologize for my behavior and the way I was speaking to you, and I apologize. And as I'm going to say, I apologize.
All right, Mr. Rice, I'll give you credit since the date of lockup. 1 second.
You good, big dog? Knock this time out, man. You good. Sit down straight there when we get out of here.
Yep.
Now let this be the determination of the rest of your life, bro. For real.
All right. So, Mr. Rice, you're going to go back with the sheriff's office. I did give you credit since lockup. All right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey, Judge.
All right, we'll go on the record. This is in the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus James Brent Watts. Case number 22 CR 83. Would counsel announce appearances, please?
Amber Norris for the state.
Your Honor, James Watts on behalf of the defendant who appears via Zoom from the Butler County Jail.
I'm not going to say James Watts on behalf of me. No.
We noted, however, James B. Watts from the county jail has elected to proceed pro se.
All right. For purposes of the record, Attorney Watts is standby counsel.
I'm not going to allow him to say he's acting on my behalf and call himself James Watts. He is not acting on my behalf.
Well, that is his name, Mr. Watts. I'm going to refer to him.
That was done for a purpose.
Hey,
and it is absolutely not
Mr.
good.
Watts.
I'm not going to tolerate it. He will not sit beside me in court.
All right. We were set originally today for preliminary hearing. However, back on February the 6th, the court ordered Mr. Watts to be evaluated for competency. It was determined that he's not competent at this time to proceed to trial. So with that finding, Ms. Norris, what's the state's position on how to proceed moving forward?
Your Honor, the court needs to accept the evaluation from South Central and order that defendant be placed at Larned to become more competent or an attempt to become competent. And generally, the court then takes the case off the docket until we get reports back from Learned. I will say that the list is long and not fast moving. So it could be some time before he actually goes to Learned to start the process. Although local mental health has a program that they're working with Learned.
Not working with any help.
Mr. Watts, I'm going to mute you.
You send me to Learned, I can put her from
Mr. Watts, you need to remain quiet until it's your turn to speak.
I'm Lord of Lords, King of Kings. I will speak when I want to.
Can we mute him, please? Go ahead, Ms. Norris.
And I don't think that he probably would qualify for that program, just based on his I guess attitude so far today. But that might be a possibility, but probably not specifically for him. So it like I said, it could be some time before he actually goes to start the process. We can do the order and have it to the court maybe by the end of today. Just get him on the list.
All right, the court has had an opportunity to review the evaluation and will order him to restore competency. He can stand trial. Mr. Watts, is there anything that you would like to say at this time? He can be. All right, Attorney Watts, standby counsel. Do you take any sort of a position at this time?
I do not, Your Honor. As I noted yesterday in the email, I don't believe that we can proceed, given that he has decided to proceed pro se, that he obviously cannot proceed without being competent first.
All right, I'll address the defendant, James Brent Watts, at this time. Is there anything that you would like to say? And he can be unmuted.
Here I am. It's James.
Is there anything that you would like to say regarding the order for competency? Yes.
That's a bunch of nonsense. You'll never medicate God out of me. You're just playing around. It's all desperation. I worship, W-O-R-S-H-I-P, the God of Saturday Sabbath. Anybody that doesn't is of Satan and the Antichrist. And that is, I worship, W-O-R-S-H-I-P, on day E. Count it out in the alphabet. What number it falls under. Words of the numbers, and the numbers do not actually line up. And I'm not going to have communication getting screwed up in here. Many words have different spellings and everything. Now, like Savior, S-A-V-I-O-R, and there's an O-U-R. Others, honor, truth. Also, you've played with the nines and got everything all out of kilter. Every time I'm in court, we have the Bible and everything. The God I worship, W-O-R-S-H-I-P, on Sabbath, Saturday. There are no immunities for any testimonies, no prosecutors, no judges. I am the judge, jury, and executioner.
All right, Mr. Watts,
I am Christ, James. You will all deal with me.
All right, Mr. Watts, the court does order you to be needed to determine competency or have your competency restored, and the case will be pulled off docket while that process works its way through. Do keep track of those regularly. So anything else, Ms. Norris from the state?
Time is on my side. I've got eternity. You guys don't.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess.
When I get out,
Good day.
the world is mine. My kingdom comes forth of my fathers. Saturday Sabbath. You can tell all the goddamn Catholics I'll be coming after.